Hey, 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 hey. Good morning. Microphone's working, camera's working. We don't have a spinny circle of death. Good morning. We'll see how long that lasts. So, I think today's coffee is Dunkin'. Was running low on the Trader Joe's, so I just went Dunkin'. So I think I came to the realization what the issue has been the last 2 days, why the stream has been interrupted just as I've been trying to talk about the main topic. So I don't have a main topic today, just in case. You know, I like to blab. So I think I realized so today's Thursday. So I think Tuesday the mic shorted out. And it wasn't like the microphone works. You hear me. I hope you hear me. It's not plugged in. It's just a prop mic today. I think it was something. Well, and I think it was the browser. I think it's Google Chrome. So the mic shorted out, but my computer recognized it. I was getting levels from my computer. And then yesterday we tried to run it back. And we teased you with a little bit of scaling your baseball card business. And then all of a sudden my screen just went black and poof, Google Chrome completely crashed, and there's my desktop. And I said some expletives. I'm like, what the So then I came to the realization when I opened it back up, tried to do another test run, wasn't working. I realized there's been something I've been ignoring. And I've been ignoring this little pop-up on Google Chrome that says your Google Chrome browser is outdated. It needs an update. So I updated Google Chrome after a couple months of ignoring that. It's kind of like, it's just stubbornness. It's kind of like when the check engine light comes on. It's like, oh, the check engine light always comes on. That's kind of what it's like. Keep driving. So hopefully we go uninterrupted. So I purposely did not have a topic ready for today because I don't want to talk for 30 minutes and then go blank screen again. Because I know it pisses you off. Like as a viewer, it would me. So, and it pisses me off. I'm just trying to talk here. And by the way, I've been on a soapbox this week. Freaking Twitter's double authenticate, and they want a code, and then I can't log in. So let's see. They've sent me a code. Is it gonna work? Oh, nope. So, and it takes forever for Google to send the code. Sometimes it's fast, but like today, it's about 50-50. Half the time it's fast. Sometimes it's a half an hour slow. And it's like, I want to log into Twitter now, not in 30 minutes. So I'll get off that soapbox. Let's go to the chat. Where we have Red Light 34. What's happening? Good morning to you. Brian Dean's with us. Jenny says, good morning. Let's flip the script Thursday and have the main topic first. Like sometimes I intend to do that. Like, let's just talk about the topic first, but I don't know. It's not in my comfort zone to do that. And I purposely didn't have a topic ready for today. I guess we could try to run it back a third time, talk about scaling your baseball card. I had notes written down and I threw them away. I was so ticked off yesterday when my screen went black. I just tossed. I'm like, screw it. I'm not talking about this anymore. So maybe we'll, when cooler heads prevail, we'll tackle that subject again. Let's see. Brian says, Jenny, good luck with that. Right. I'm stubborn, remember? Christian says, good morning, Jenny. What's your PC? Ed, what's up? Great thumbnail. Yep, this is the generic thumbnail. No topic Thursday. Terry, what's up? Good morning to you. Abraham, long time no see. What's up, Abraham? Hopefully I'll see you Saturday. Madison Card Show, Sheraton Hotel, John Nolan Drive. By the way, I've got some news to break. about this Saturday's Madison Card Show at the Sheraton Hotel on John Nolan Drive. For the first time since February, that's almost a year, I will be set up as a dealer at the Madison Card Show. Those banging bargain boxes will be at the Madison Card Show this Saturday, Sheraton Hotel, John Nolan Drive. Why, you ask? So it's not really a good reason why I've decided to set up. It's because I am not sold out of dealers. I have a few spaces, but it's kind of nice. Because for the last several months, I'm like, for the last, I think since May, I've been oversold. In fact, the May show, when I had 3 rooms, I had somebody that I didn't follow up with, and I'm like, oh crap. And I had every table filled. So I had to get one of those big round, like wedding tables for him. He got a lot more space. And I actually had to do that again last month with one of my dealers in the downstairs Williamson ballroom. So it's kind of a nice problem to have when you're oversold. It means there's a lot of demand, but it's also a nice problem to have when there's a little flexibility. That I'm not stressing out on Friday like, oh crap, I need 2 people to cancel, or I need 4 tables to cancel because I'm oversold. Where am I going to put them? Last month I was like going to Costco and Walmart looking for like tables to buy. It's like I've got spots because the Sheraton's out of tables. Like when I sell out, I literally sell out their tables. They don't have a single table left. So it's actually kind of this is kind of nice. Like, it's that tipping point. And you ask, well, why is the card market down? Well, yes and no. The biggest reason. Now, I would be actually right now with the dealers that I have and the tables that I have booked, if this were a normal weekend, like a non-Chicago Sports Spectacular weekend, I would be oversold right now. But I have 11 or 12 dealers that will be in Chicago. And I also have another one that had planned on doing Chicago. And now he's not confirmed for Madison, but still kind of up in the air. So it's actually kind of a nice problem to have. Flexibility. There's value in flexibility. And I'm not talking about touching your toes or whatever, because I don't have any flexibility there. So it's kind of nice. It allows me to set up. Now, here's the thing. I don't set up because it's more of a time constraint. It's kind of flexibility. Like, I don't set, it's not money. It's like, because I can make more money with tables. Say I have 3 tables. That's $120 to $150 if I, to me, from dealers. If I set up, I'll make $300-400 on just quarter cards. So, I'll make more money. So it's not a money thing. It's just, I like the flexibility to, I'm not like, okay, I've got 30 minutes to go collect money. So if you are a dealer at the show this Saturday, it might help if you like came to me and paid me. I'll try, like, at the beginning of the show, I'm going to make my rounds. So I'm going to do my best. And I say that a lot. And what happens is I get consumed in other people's bargain boxes. And that's another aspect. I like to shop. But I've bought so much in the last month, I don't need to shop this weekend. So I'm looking forward to it. I do feel less stressed. Like, I haven't even mapped out the rooms. Like, I've half-assed the rooms as far as mapping them out. Like, I have the main room and the downstairs room, I have about halfway mapped out because I am waiting on confirmation from a couple of dealers. And it's like putting a puzzle together, because there's, say somebody wants 3 tables. Like, there's only a select area that I can put 3 tables, together. because other people, want this spot or that spot. And it's like, okay, so I have two tables here, one table here. One table gives me a little more flexibility. So it's kind of nice, but I have more flexibility. Like my guy Bronco, Baseball Card Illustrated, just reached out to me. Usually he has one table. He's like, hey, can I get two tables? Absolutely. Because where he's at, there's actually a 2-table spot right across from where he's usually set up. And I'll be sitting, like, I'll be set up. So where will you find me? And my plan is to set up this Saturday. I'll be set up in the hallway upstairs where 5-star normally is. 5-star's moving in to the main room. And so I will be like right there in the middle of the hallway upstairs. And I like that spot for bargain boxes because there's plenty of room. Because it's kind of set, that area is set back, so there's plenty of space, and you can put chairs so people can just dig for quarter boxes. And 5-star has had, they have their dollar boxes, so that's where I'll be. We'll see. I'll review the show on Sunday, and I'll tell you how it goes. Will I do it in December? There's probably going to be a lot of demand for vendors in December. But I'm not doing a show in December, so maybe I do reserve in setup in December. We'll see. I don't know. But so I'll be set up. So I didn't plan on setting up in Madison. It was kind of like a last minute decision yesterday. It's like, you know what? I've got plenty of spaces still open, and I went back through, reached out to some older dealers, which I haven't had to do in several months. And, like I said, 11 or 12 dealers are in Chicago this weekend. I've got one dealer who's in San Diego. I think another's on a trip to Florida. So there's a lot of openings. I've had a couple dealers bow out. So just sticking to like their local shows. So that's where we're at. My schedule for next year, I do have for the first 3 months for the Madison Card Show, January 21st. So there's December 17th will be the next show after this weekend, December 17th. Then January 21st. Normally I'm the last weekend. But I was a little, the New Berlin Card Show is also January 28th. That's the date that I had wanted to peg. But Sheraton's not available on January 28th. So I'm doing January 21st, which I think Oconomowoc is scheduling their show. So I may lose a couple dealers that are regulars in Oconomowoc. So January 21st will be the first show of 2023. And then will be February 25th and then March 25th. And then dates TBA for the rest of the year. So it'll basically be my schedule will be released 3 months out. So in January, I can tell you when the dates are for April, May, June. That's also Sheraton. They want to take advantage of bigger events. They don't make as much money on the card shows because I don't have the concession stand. So it's kind of like they want events that have the concession stands open so they make more money, which, hey, I get it. It's business. And I'm okay with that. They originally only wanted to give me 30 days notice, and that's a deal breaker. So I couldn't work around that. So we met in the middle. I understood scheduling them a year out because even like, say I wanted to schedule a year out in November, like now, like I get it. Like a year from now, there may be other events that, they had to pass on. So I think this works for both of us, both parties, and it's okay. So that's the news for this weekend's Madison Card Show, Sheraton Hotel, John Nolan Drive. Free admission, 125 tables, probably will be, when it's all said and done, 120, I would think. 120 tables this weekend. Jenny says, my main PC is Miguel Sano, but anything Twins and then mascot cards and now 2021 pandemic mask cards. David is with us. What's up, David? Christian says, I've seen some of your posts with mascots. I'll send you a DM. Think I may have a few. Very cool. Victor, what's happening? Good morning to you. Zach and Porter says, is this title a reference to your BMs? BMs. I don't know what that means. My BMs. What's up, Dan? Clark. Good morning to Clark. Where we at? Something Sports Cards, good morning to you. Brian Wolf in the house. Dan says, no way BCW lets this stream complete. We shall not name that company anymore. By the way, I am hooked up with, I have a new supplier. Shout out Columbia Hobby. And I've been a big fan, like I mentioned, I think yesterday. I might have mentioned them. Maybe I was cut off. I don't know. But Columbia Hobby has some of their retail prices are cheaper than wholesale prices at BCW. So I'm very happy. I got my wholesale account registered yesterday and shopped around and everything, because I have all of the supplies from BCW wholesale. I have a list just so quick reference guide, like, okay, how much am I spending per box or per penny sleeve or per top loader? It's right there. I'm starting to look, and the SKUs are a little bit different between the two companies, but I'm looking and I'm like, well, top loaders are wholesale at BCW is $1.86 for 25. Basically, I think it's a penny net, almost 2 cents less per top loader at Columbia. Penny sleeves are actually the one thing that are a little more expensive at Columbia. Penny sleeves are, and it's like the top loader price, like one case of top loaders and one case of penny sleeves, I'm saving money at Columbia. Because penny sleeves, I think, let's see. I think at BCW was $50 for a case, and it's $53 at Columbia. 4-row boxes are like $1 less. Now there's a caveat, and shout out to Columbia, because they were like fully transparent from the get-go regarding shipping costs. Thank you. It wasn't a year later. Oh, by the way, we're going to do a little bait and switch on you. Whoa. This isn't right. So Columbia said all shipping prices are built into the price. Awesome. So my follow-up question, I run my business and it's registered from my home address, which is residential. Do you ship? Is that okay? Yes. No issues. So BCW, you have to ship to a commercial address, even if you're doing business out of your home at a residential address. So shout out Columbia Hobby. They have a new customer, and he's very happy. Paige and Deanie Bean, what's up? Not pissed off here. Randy Friesen, what's up? Good morning to you. I hope I pronounced your last name correctly. Cooter, did Bo just lose his audio again? Just kidding. Okay, Cooter. By the way, Cooter sent me a book. I've read, I'm like 8 chapters in. I stepped away from cards a little bit last night. Read some of the book. It's what is the book? I took a picture of it on my couch. Let's see. It's a book about the Cubs. It was written in like 1980, and what I like about Cubs books, it's called The Neighborhood of Baseball, A Personal History of the Chicago Cubs, written by Barry Gifford. And I looked Barry Gifford up. He's still thriving and writing. He's written a ton of books. Lives in, I think, San Francisco. But it's basically his personal memories of growing up around Wrigleyville and going to 50 Cubs games a year in the 50s and 60s, which that's my favorite, because I know the Cubs history. Like, I know the stats. Like, when I read a book about sports, like, I'm more in the personal interest story. Like, and this is kind of like, and I've shared this when I worked in newspaper, like, I hated reading and I hated writing just generic gamers, which is a game recap. Basically just doing a newspaper version of play-by-play for a sporting event. And it's like, I just want to know if I'm interested in the game, I just go read the box score. Like, what do I do? Last night, college basketball games. What will I do this morning? I'll take a look at the scores. I want to know the scores first. who won or lost in the top 25 in college basketball last night. And then I'm interested in the box scores. And I like the Score app because it shows like the top. I don't even have to click in to look at the box score. It has the leading scores of each team. It's like, oh, this guy had a triple-double last night. So I just want to know the numbers. I don't care how the game played out. If I did, I just watched the game. So where was I leading with that? Cubs book. So books. I don't like it when they just, the 1954 season started with blah, 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 blah. And Ernie Banks was a rookie and he hit 308 and blah, 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 blah. D. Fondy was at first base and took over for Phil Cavarretta and blah, 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 blah. Like, I don't want that stuff. I want to know about all the other stuff. Stuff that we don't know. Stuff that I can't go. I want to know when I read a baseball book. I want information from that book to be information that I don't find on Baseball Reference. That's what I like in a baseball book. So far, this has been kind of a mix, and it does tell Barry Gifford is the author. His grandfather, and I don't understand, and again, this book was written over 40 years ago, so some of the language may be, not modern times. He said he ran numbers. I don't know what that means. Somebody may know what that means. He ran numbers and like sold candy near the Red Line, the Addison Red Line stop. But it talks about his relationship with his grandfather and his uncles and, talking about, they ran a fur business in downtown Chicago. And it was it's very like, it takes you back into a time that I was not around for. And I love history and I love those nuances that you can't just find on a website. It's personal interest. So I'm a big fan of the book so far. So thank you, Cooter. And he included a bookmark of my guy, Jody Davis, an autographed Jody Davis card. So thank you to Cooter. George, good evening to you, sir. Time for sleep. George is going to bed. Max, Dad will be happy to hear that. Oh, good deal. Good deal. At least I have one customer. Dan, is your mom walking the floor instead, right? Mom's not coming. Mom will be up for Thanksgiving, so she'll be up next week, which can you believe Thanksgiving is next weekend or next week already? I can't believe that. I mean, it's like, I don't know why, but it's like, I'm thinking it's like, oh, I've got the card show this weekend and then I've got Janesville next weekend. It's like, oh, wait. Next Thursday is Thanksgiving. I don't know why. It always sneaks up on the calendar, stays the same. The calendar's static, but for some reason, I just think it's coming up on me very quickly. Let's see. So no, Mom is not coming up. I need to find somebody that can like just do like regular tasks for me, like go collect from dealers or watch my table while I go collect from dealers. I need to find somebody, but it's hard to find. Like, it's amazing how hard it is to find good help these days. Now I sound like an old man. Hard to find good help these days. Jenny says he's setting up because the hobby is dead and selling off everything, right? Abraham says, yes, I will be at the Madison Card Show this Saturday at the Sheraton Hotel on John Nolan Drive. I love it. Jenny says, we just want to know if we are allowed to do parking lot deals at John Nolan. How about that? So let's talk about that. So my good buddy Ryan Nolan at Breakout Cards on Twitter, which I can't access because of this damn double authentication crap. Let's see. Has Twitter sent me an updated text? I've only got 2 codes, and I don't think this most recent one's going to work. Nope, it doesn't work. So I've got to go on my phone. I hate you. Elon, you're ruining Twitter. Okay, so let's find Breakout Cards. So see, even if I had StreamYard, I wouldn't be able to flash it on the screen because I can't get into Twitter. Crap. So a Breakout Card. So Ryan tweets a lot and he retweets a lot. So it's going to be hard to find. Oh, no. He didn't yesterday. So, where are we at? So Ryan had an issue with a promoter down in Florida. Let's see. Breakout cards. So his first initial text or tweet was, amazing. A card show promoter texted me saying it's wrong to make a deal outside the show. Seriously? So basically, one of the messages that the promoter of the show, the Port St. Lucie Sports Cards and Collectibles Show, is the promoter that sent this. Apparently, it was a Facebook message to Ryan Nolan. It reads, just a heads up, card show event promoters do not appreciate that you promote on YouTube. I'm going to stop right there and say I'm a card show event promoter, and I love that Ryan Nolan promotes card shows on YouTube. So, and I know I'm not the only card show promoter that likes it. So back to this is a message from the Port St. Lucie show promoter. Card show event promoters do not appreciate that you promote on YouTube, quote, how to set up your own free vendor space in the lobby of a card show venue. You are extremely blatant in doing this in your video at our Port St. Lucie card show. We hope you consider this situation in a professional manner and make right to what needs to be made, whatever that means. So by the way, and he used the quote, how to set up your own free vendor space in the lobby of a card show venue. That's not a title. And I know several people went into Ryan's YouTube and searched it. That's not he's never done that title. So I don't mind. In fact, I encourage customers to come in. So this is what I don't like about crotchety old card show promoters is that they act like this. And that's not a welcoming. Like, card shows should be welcoming and fun. It shouldn't be about greasing the palms of a card show promoter, like nickel and diming. Like, oh nope, I need to fill all these tables, and oh no, you can't bring in stuff, or you have to pay an extra $5 for tables. And I get some of the accessorial fees because they're charged, so I get some of that. But the nickel and diming of your clientele, like, that's just BS to me. It should be like an open, and I encourage people to bring stuff in. Like, people will on Facebook, on my Facebook ads, can we bring stuff in to sell to dealers? Absolutely. Hell, you can sell it to other customers for all I care. Just there's a way to go about it. The wrong way is say, do I have any dealers? Say, just for me example, if somebody is like is sitting at a chair at my table of looking through quarter cards, and a random customer, actually even a dealer, it doesn't matter, just somebody, it doesn't matter if they're a dealer at the show or a customer, comes up to a customer at my table and says, oh, hey, I've got some really good quarter boxes inside, and takes them away from my table. No, that's not good. Don't do that. But if somebody buys a bunch of cards from me and walks away from my table, and somebody comes up and they're like, hey, I've got a bunch of stuff in my car in the parking lot. You want to go take a look? That's certainly fine. The Midwest premiere last year in Loves Park outside of Rockford, which, by the way, I was one of the promoters of that show. A guy who didn't have a table, and we had tables open, a guy came up to me and said, hey, I've got a collection I heard you buy. I do. It's in my car in the parking lot. You want to go look? Guess what? We went out in the parking lot, we looked, and I bought. And another show promoter was standing right next to me when it all went down. So that stuff should be encouraged. As long as it's done in a professional manner, you're not, taking somebody away from another dealer table. I think it's perfectly fine. Now, if there's an empty table in the show, don't just spot up without like asking the promoter and just be like, here's my stuff. come buy from me. Don't do that. But there's certain ways that it can be done. So that's my thought. As a show promoter myself, I have no problem with customers coming in, trying to sell cards without buying a table, as long as it's done respectfully. Let's see. Max says, I'm actually pumped for this show. New blood, and the dealers I'm guessing are going to Chicago aren't guys I mess with a ton. So the guys that are in Chicago, it's kind of a mixed bag of my dealers that go to Chicago. So Eric, who by the way, Eric has like the dollar boxes that are kind of towards the back of the room. He has 2 tables there. So he will be in Chicago. He's actually the dealer that I went to Milwaukee and bought the 15 boxes this week from. So he'll be in Chicago, and he's also going to miss the December show. He'll be back in January. The Cardboard Bros will be in Chicago. They do strictly Pokemon. Brian from Fire Sports, he'll be in Chicago. Andrew, who runs the New Berlin show, will be in Chicago. Tom, who sets up a single table in the middle of the upstairs room, he's got a lot of vintage and kind of unique stuff. He'll actually he's on vacation. Cordell, who's downstairs, he's got a mix of a little bit of everything, high-end cards and bargain boxes. He's always along the wall in the Williamson Ballroom, so he will not be at the Madison show this weekend. Logan, who sets up in the hallway upstairs next to the elevators. So his dad has made a prototype for like a plastic to put slabs in like basically frame, and you can hang them. So they will be like launching I maybe taking pre-orders at Chicago this weekend. So they will not be there. My buddy Mark, who has a lot like showcases of vintage and modern, a lot of slabs, he will be in Chicago. I mentioned Eric. Gary, who has a lot of vintage, he's in the back wall where I used to set up. So Gary's going to be in Chicago. Tony, who runs the Oak Creek show, his brother, he released a blog this week. His brother has some health issues, so I don't think Tony's going to be with family. And Josh, who's a Pokemon guy, strictly Pokemon. So those guys will all be in Chicago and not in Madison this weekend. But like I mentioned the other day, I've got, I think, 12 first-time dealers. Ben, who is, I think he's tough to find stuff on Instagram. So he's going to be there. John Seacrest, he's always at the Rockford show. He will be there in the up front along the wall. He's done the Madison show maybe once before. So I would consider him kind of new, not a first timer, but new. Christian Rojas will be set up. He's a first-time dealer, so I don't know what he'll bring. Jose, Jose actually was in Bronco Baseball Card Illustrated spot last month. He'll be back this month. Let's see, and I'm just going over like first-time dealers or newer dealers. Oh, Andy and Vince, they run the Davenport show that was a couple weeks ago. They are the guys with the $2 bargain boxes of like wrestling, vintage, like airplanes. I pulled out a Magic stamp from 1948, Topps Magic stamp for $2. My Minute Bull early Fleer card just sold on eBay. Pulled that out of there. Like I said, wrestling cards. What else? I pulled just a bunch of random stuff. So they'll be there. They have 3 tables. They'll be in the upstairs. I think I have them in the upstairs. I probably shouldn't talk. I don't know where I have them, but they'll be there. And they're first-time dealers to Madison. Tyler Messman. He's a first-time dealer. I think he was my 12th or actually maybe my 13th. Oh, Kyle is back. My buddy Kyle Stichter. He set up a few months, but he hasn't been set up since I believe March. So he's back, and he does a lot of bargain boxes too. Chad is back. He took a few months off. Chad will be downstairs. Let's see. Who else is a new or first timer? Aaron O. He set up quite a bit like in the spring, last winter and last spring. He took all summer off, so I don't think he's been set up since March or April. So he's back. Ben Mew is a first-time dealer. Jake R is a first-time dealer. Noah's back. I think this is only his second show. Noah had some. I think Noah was the one who had a ton of like Tom Brady stuff in the hallway last month. Andy Vogel is a first-time dealer. Cole Reeve is a first-time dealer. Jonathan Hole is a first-timer. Colin Altenberg is a first-timer. Tim Staub is back. It's been a few months since he's set up. Let's see. Jeremy Roper. It's been a while since he's set up. A few months. Let's see. Brian Baker is a first-timer. Eric W. He set up last month for the first time, so he's back for the second time. Kelly Schmidt is a first-timer. Let's see. Jared is back. Dilly. Let's see. Josh Roll, who runs AJ Collectibles. So he's a first-time dealer. Megan Coda sets up at the Oak Creek show and I think some of the other Milwaukee area shows. She's a first-time dealer to Madison. Let's see. Patrick is a first-time dealer. And that's it. So, and then the rest are like fairly regular people, fairly regular dealers to the Madison card show. So it's going to be a nice mix. I'm going to be back behind a table. We've got 12 or 13 first-time dealers, some guys that haven't set up in several months. So it'll be a nice mix of dealers at this Saturday show. Where are we at? Jenny says, I would clarify I'm not doing a show in December, that you are doing a Madison show. Yes, there is a Madison card show, December 17th. Me as a dealer, I don't plan on being a dealer at a card show in December. So that could change. If I have spots open, for my December show, maybe I'll fill in a spot, and we'll also see how this Saturday goes. If it's just too much stress for me to run around and run a table at the same time, then I may just skip December as a dealer at the Madison show. So we will see. But yes, there is a Madison card show in December. It is on Beckett. It is on Sports Card Daily or Digest, whichever one has the card show calendar. But it didn't make my business cards, which actually I think I ran out of business cards like right around now, which I printed off just enough. Unfortunately, since I can't just bulk order for the whole year for next year because I'm only able to schedule 3 months at a time. So I do have to get some new ones made that have actually I should make them today so I can include that December date. They won't be here by Saturday, but at least I can have them for the December show. And I can get them in the mail on some of my eBay packages that have the dates. Let's see. Card Hobbyist is with us. What's up? Good morning to you. Zach and Porter says New Berlin show is normally Sundays. I think they are switching to Saturdays next year. So they took November and December off, and I believe they're going to Saturdays because when I saw their schedule, I saw January 28th. And at the time last month, that's the date that I had penciled in for my show. But Sheraton came back and they're like, oh, we got a big event coming in, so we have to bump you. So, but I'm getting the contract, so I'll be solidified for January 21st. Let's see. BM bowel movement. Okay. Thank you. I was not sure what BM stood for. Ed says BCW reference. There goes the stream. Ooh, I know. Let's see. I just got a text. Got another dealer. Wants to know if there are. Let's just do it live. Who? Oh, I think this is somebody who's set up before. Oh, this is Dan. Yes, I do. Dan's been set up. It's been a few months. It's been, when was the last time Dan set up? August. So Dan's back. Let's see. Red Light says, what is a good price to pay for a penny box? Box is around 2,000 to 3,000 cards. That's a tough one. So that's a tough one for me just to it depends. Is it, say it's a 4-row, we'll say 4-row box because that's typically 3,000 cards. If it's a 4-row box of like junk wax, I would pay $5. I wouldn't sell it for that, but I'd buy it for $5. If it's more modern, depending on, are there stars in there? I'd pay a little more. If it's like all commons, first off, I probably personally, I've got enough. I wouldn't buy, but if I needed some type of inventory, I'd say $5 on a 4-row common box. If it's modern, I might go up to $20. It just kind of all depends on the contents. I'd need a little more info on what the contents are. BMs rhymes with towels. Bowels and towels. Bowels and towels. Jenny says, what years roughly are the penny? There you go. What years roughly are the penny box cards? I think it kind of depends what years and era. And then if it's base or refractors or serial number. Dead on. Absolutely agree with that. Dan says, I have to listen later, but that Tom Brady rookie I pulled from that collection ends at auction tonight. And it has a decent chance after getting it graded for paying for that whole collection. Excellent. That's the best part of when you buy a bulk lot or a collection and sell like one card or a small lot of cards for half or more of what you paid for the entire lot. Oh, love it. Love those scenarios. Jenny says, good luck to DR. Drop the link on Twitter and tag me. Let's see. Dan ran numbers. Bookie, I think. I bet you're right, because he did say, and I bet it was for horses. Because he did say in the book that his grandfather was a horse, did horses, wasn't a Cubs fan, but he did the horses or whatever. So I bet that's LOL accountant. Illegal gambling. Bookie. Ran numbers. There you go. Paige and Deanie Bean says, then you would love Dirk Hayhurst books Out of My League. Agreed. The Dirk Hayhurst books are excellent. The Bullpen Gospels. Let's see. Max says, now Twitter will be better for it. Ed says, to red light 3,000 at a penny is $30, so I would go 15, assuming they are true penny box cards. Max says there is definitely a fine line there, though. I think we're talking about the card show with Ryan Nolan. People shouldn't be having a display outside the show when your dealers have paid for a table. And I agree with that. Yeah. Don't like set up in the lobby. But if you're just if you have a pet, example, you have a Pelican case and you're trying to offload some cards, you're going to dealers, and here's what happens a lot. It's not that Ryan Nolan is looking to do these. People direct hey, that guy collect. And I think this scenario, what happened to Ryan Nolan, is basically what happened to me. And this is how you get deals, is you get known for, hey, that guy buys all your junk. And so people come up to you, hey, do you want my junk? And sometimes junk to me is like the junkiest of junk. But junk to other people might be like $10 cards. And so you can get a really good deal. Like the guy that came up to me, he was probably going up to dealers. Hey, do you buy? Do you buy? Do you buy? They're like, no. Finally, he gets to somebody that they're like, oh, that guy over there buys. And I'm not set up as I'm a promoter, but I was, walking the floor. And so he comes up to me, we go outside. But yeah, I agree with Max where it's not don't set up a display in the lobby or take an empty table and there's respectful ways to do it. Jenny says there's definitely a difference in talking to someone in the show about what you have versus actually setting up outside the show. So basically what Ryan did was kind of how I just explained, somebody, what sounded like what happened. And this is kind of a conclusion based on what's happened to me and what I see, on a pretty regular basis, where somebody came in with a collection and people that come in to sell, that are customers that come in to sell, they're not going up to they're not going up to random other customers. They're going up to the dealers. And then the dealers usually say, I'm not interested, but hey, that dealer over there is. So then they go to that dealer and they say, hey, I've got this. The dealer flips through. He's like, I'm not interested, but hey, Ryan Nolan over here, the guy with the camera, he buys vintage. So then they go up to Ryan. And then Ryan's like, yeah, let's go out to the lobby and do this deal. And by the way, he didn't get the deal done. So I think that's basically how it sounded. I watched the original video, and that's basically how it happened. Baseball card curmudgeon, what's happening? Good morning to you. John's here for the audio visual. We're 45 minutes in, and the fingers are still crossed. Mark Wilkins, what's up? Good morning to you. Cooter says the deals that go on outside the show in Dallas are crazy. I've seen multiple 10K deals done at the bar. That's awesome. I'll be in easy setup in the handicap spot. I'll have 5 GoPros strapped to my body. Rick McCarty, what's happening? Good morning to you. Hit the not sure I like button. Joe Caprino, what's up? Is it true you were featured in the CubsCon bingo video they posted yesterday? Probably not, unless they used really old footage. Probably not. Brian Dean says the person walked up to Ryan, asked him if he was buying. By the way, Joe, I did not watch the video, so I don't know if you're joking or not, but to my knowledge, no. He started filming the transaction to show the transaction in case he bought anything, but he ended up posting it anyway. Steve Ains Comedy, good morning, Couch People. What's up, Steve? By the way, the Couch People Christmas party is coming up Saturday, December 10th. So, wow, we're 3 weeks out. We're going to be here on YouTube. Hopefully it all goes well. We don't have any glitches. I've got to figure out, I'm going to go shopping. I don't know if I'm going to go to the Sheraton today or tomorrow, but I want to buy like a new tripod. So I want to try something because I'm going to have my setup out in the rec room. And I need to find a good way of like being able to comfortably rip cards and have them like on camera and all that stuff. So I need to figure out, I need to do that sooner rather than like, at 3:00 Saturday, December 10th and pull my hair out. So Saturday, December 10th is the Couch People Christmas party here on my YouTube channel. StreamYard will be open. Everyone is invited. You can jump on for a few minutes. You can jump on for a few hours. You can rip. All I'm going to be doing is ripping like for hours. I think I'm down to 10 because I ordered 5 from Best Buy, wherever they are. So I have 10 Bowman U football blasters. I have 2 Topps Update blasters. I'll probably buy more of those. I have 2 Topps Archives blasters. Actually, I have 3, but I'm probably going to rip one of those. I have 6 Bowman Mega Boxes from this year. I have like 15 Bowman Chrome Mega Boxes from last year. I have about 15 Bowman Mega Boxes from last year. I have a Mega Box of last year's Illusions football. I have 2 of the holiday NBA Hoops blasters from last year. I have a Donruss basketball Mega Box. I have some playoff football packs, I think. I have a couple overtime elite blasters. I have a Bowman Chrome hobby box from last year. I have 5 Topps Update 2020 hobby boxes. I have about 6 Heritage Miners hobby boxes from 2019. And I have, some Bowman U basketball blasters. So, and I'm just going to probably rip it all. And whatever else I buy Black Friday, I'm trying not to buy anything more until Black Friday so I can splurge on cards on Blowout or Dave & Adams or Steel City or whoever else has some deals. Let's see. Jason is with us. What's up, Jason Page? Trying Card Dealer Pro. How are you adding card location, i.e. shelf, row, section? Are you hand typing it in the exported spreadsheet? Yes. It does not seem to be carrying over from app to the eBay SKU. So what I do is I export the spreadsheet. Once you have it, I export the spreadsheet. And then the spreadsheet, like one of the first columns, it's like column A or it's not column A. It's like column B or column C. It is the custom SKU. And so I put in box 1, tab D, and then I just copy and paste it all the way down because I do one tab at a time. And and then export and then upload that spreadsheet to eBay, and it works fine. Red Light 34. Okay, 4-row box. They are asking $20, so I will try to get them for 15. Thank you everyone for the advice. That will help me out. You are welcome. Ethan Roberts is showing off some hits. What's he got? So Ethan was in Ethan's been in a couple Cubs breaks. And he was in a Prism baseball break and pulled a Seiya Suzuki auto numbered to 10. And then he got into a Cubs break for Cosmic Chrome and pulled a Marcus Stroman. I don't know what that's numbered to. Looks like it's blue. I don't know. That's a new product, so I don't know. Cosmic Stro. Very cool. Where are we at in the chat? Let's see. Randy says, what's up, Randy? Dustin did a video yesterday, and he thinks that 75% of dealers who currently set up at shows won't be setting up and will drop off within 12 months. Doom and gloom. What percentage do you think? That's definitely doom and gloom. I don't agree with that number at all. That's a crazy high number. I would say 20%. 1 out of 5. 1 out of 5 in the next 12 months will drop off. And I'm starting, and I can tell, like, based on the attitudes and how some of my dealers react at the end of the show. I can start telling who's going to be dropping off. Sometimes it surprises me when guys are just like, hey, I'm sticking to one show, and it kind of surprises me. But then there's some where it's like, he's not going to be around for long. And then all of a sudden they just drop off the face of the earth. I've had a couple dealers that just kind of fell off, and then all of a sudden they reach back out and they're like, hey, I'm ready to set up again. And it's like, oh, I didn't think I'd hear from you. Yeah, 75, that's a crazy high number. I don't agree with that at all. I think it's 1 in 5. That's not me being, I try to be a realist. I try not to be an optimist. As far, what do you call the, what's the term? There's a term for it. Oh, there's a term for it. Over optimist, whatever it is. But I also don't want to be a pessimist and say, oh my God, it's yeah, there's going to be a lot of dealers that, you won't see this time next year. I agree with that, but I don't think it's going to be close to 75%. I would say 20 to 25% of the current dealers that you see. And I'm trying to think of dealers that I know and set up with regularly at various shows. And a lot of them are I guess what I think the ones that fall off first are the ones that have only been around for 3 years or 2 years. Those are the first ones to go. But a lot of my dealers have been doing this for 20, 30 years. And they're not falling off. And I think there is a lot of dealers that are, pandemic to present. And those, that's what I found, where it's and a lot of them that have fallen off, those are the guys that jumped in and bought high. They bought at the peak market, but they were making money at first. And then all of a sudden, what they were left holding the bag blew up in their face, because they may have bought, say, a bunch of cards for $500 each, and they flipped them for $700. They flipped them for $800, and they're but they were left holding the bag on a pile of 100 cards that they paid $500 each, and now they're only worth $75. And they're like, screw it, I'm liquidating and I'm done. So I think those pandemic to present people are the ones that we see fall out within the next year. But I do think, and to Randy's point, I do expect the Madison card show, I think will be, it's 120. So when I sell out, which it's been selling out all year, and I see that continuing. This week is just an anomaly because of the big Chicago show. But I would not be surprised if the November show in 2023, 1 year from now, that I'm back to just one room and the hallway. where we dropped from 125 tables to 80 to 85 tables. So that would not surprise me. So what's the number on that? What's 15? What's 40 divided by 125? So I guess use my own numbers here. So let's just make it 40. Is that right? 125 minus 85 is 40 divided by 125. Okay, let's say 30%. That's 32%. So let's say 30%. So I think 30% of dealers who currently set up at shows will not be set up in 12 months. So 30% is my number. Paige and Deanie Bean says, over under on dead air at 750. Hey, we made it. We made it. Microphone's working, camera's working, and no spinning wheel of death. John says, I saw the video. I think Ryan did nothing wrong other than airing a private message and producing sensationalism content. I will agree with that. I think the video response showing the private message was a little overkill, but we're all different. I do understand the promoter wanting to protect his turf. Both are cringy. Brian says, get a small card table and a tabletop tripod for filming your rip from the couch. Hey, that's a good idea. I've got to clean up. I've got a coffee table in the rec room that's just piled with piles and boxes of cards that I need to really get that room under control. It's going to be nice. The new house is going to be really nice because I'm going to have a lot more space and I'm not going to have piles of boxes, and the rec room's going to be card free. It will be nice. I mean, outside of taking a box of cards out to sort and watch TV, I'll have a TV in my office. I'll be plugged in to the internet. So it'll be nice. It'll be nice. John says, who names their kid Dustin? You know what's funny? Like names. And like you always think of, like, you always compare like a kid named Dustin. Like when I think of Dustin, and I don't know too many Dustins. Like I went to school. There were a couple Dustins that I went to school. One was Dusty. I don't know if his like birth name was Dustin or not. And then there was another Dustin who he kind of I'm trying to find the words again. Interchangeably used Dusty and Dustin. But it's kind of funny how you think of people based on who you grew up with or who you know personally. So John there must have been a bully named Dustin in John's childhood. Triple E says Car Dealer Pro is supposed to be releasing version 1.4 this week and is supposed to fix custom SKU, global shipping, best offer enabled, and a few more issues. I haven't had any issues with the custom SKU, although I'm not using it like within their app. So I bet the issue he's having, I didn't realize this. I bet the issue Jason is having is within the app, and it's not. Well, so custom label SKU is in the spreadsheet that they spit out, but best offer is not. And I even tried to manually use my template, and it still didn't. eBay didn't accept it. It didn't accept that column for some reason. So that's why somebody mentioned at the card show in Rockford last weekend, they're like, you don't take offers. And I'm like, I want to. And not because I want to get dollar offers on $1.50 cards. It's that I want people to come in and see 50 cards and offer $1 on 50 cards. That's the ideal situation. Or 20 cards. It's like, yeah, I'll sell you 20 cards for $1. So yeah, and yeah, I've been hoping that best offer enabled gets fixed soon. So hopefully they can get that version updated and it doesn't affect the way it's working. I didn't go on Car Dealer Pro yesterday, but I added how many did I add? Over 1,000 this week, I think. I'm trying to net an additional 1,000 listings a week. So I'm trying to get to whole numbers, each whole 1,000 numbers. 28,000 last week. I'm trying to get to 29,000 this week, which I should be able to do in no time because I think I'm only a couple hundred away. And then my goal is, it's going to be tough because next week's Thanksgiving. I'll be set up in Janesville on that Saturday. So it's going to be tough next week to get to 30,000. So I might just try my goal might just be end of November, try to get to 30,000. John says half full. Let's see. Paige and Dee Bean, we made it. It's 8 o'clock. We made it to the top of the hour. No issues. Let's see. It'll be card free until it isn't. Good morning, Uncle Rich. I will listen in full later. And yes, the stream ending yesterday was sure a major couch people power move. Zach says a lot of Astro fans may start naming their kids Dustin. Good job on the likes. 16 out of 46. Oh, must have some dislikes. We're down to 14. Only 14. Jason Page, it's not carrying over the location to the spreadsheet. Aha. Okay. So the spreadsheet does or should have the custom label SKU. At least it did on Tuesday when I used it last. So just manually enter it within the spreadsheet and you should be good to go. Victor said, finally made it over to 1K listings in my store. Awesome, Victor. That is a big milestone. That is a big milestone. Paige and Deanie Bean, good morning. Or Paige and Deanie Bean says, congrats, Victor. I've already said good morning. Let's see. Ed says, I just add the SKU to the CSV file, and that's exactly what I do. Triple E says, where's Triple E? Triple E says, add this column, best offer enabled, and set to 1. Ooh, thank you. Where's my notepad? Best. And I thought I did that, but I may not have had the correct, you know how spreadsheets are, set to 1. I may not have had the correct verbiage as the column header name. Jason says, yeah, I'll have to manually add as the workaround. Appreciate the help. You betcha. Rich says, for those who follow me on either Facebook or the Twit, check my posts of yesterday for one of the strangest errors you will ever see on a photo. Ooh, I wish I could log into Twitter on my computer, but I can't because of double authentication or whatever. And it's still, Twitter never did send me an updated code that works. Terry says, yes, custom label is not an option in the CDP interface. They said they were fixing that. We are right back to 16. Ooh, now we're at 21. I want to see the ability to copy and paste more than one cell into Car Dealer Pro. So we're over an hour and we made it. Microphone still works. Camera still works. YouTube still working. One thing I didn't talk about, I watched a movie last night. I turned the fireplace on. My wife texted me. She goes, and there's the card Rich links. My wife texts me. She goes, I'm still at the office. Do you want me to order sushi and I can pick it up on my way home? And I'm like, ooh, yeah, it's been a while since we've had sushi. So we put it. So here's my order of sushi. Rich, stay for the food talk. I don't know if Rich likes sushi, though. So I love sushi. Takara 88, Middleton, Wisconsin. If you're ever in the area, love it. Service is awesome. Owners are great. They know our order when we call in. All we have to say is Godzilla roll, no spicy. And they're like, oh, Amy. Yes. And they're like, okay. And you want the dragon and the rainbow and then usually the fourth is our wild card. So we've been switching it up though lately. So we've been keeping them on their toes. So we go with the Godzilla roll, which I'll explain because I don't know, not all rolls are alike. So the Godzilla roll is like deep fried and it's got like cream cheese. That's about all. And I don't know, crab. I don't know. But then they also glaze like a spicy sauce, but my wife doesn't do spicy sauce. So no spicy sauce. She usually eats those and I'll eat like one or two. And then I'll order my like roll. So she orders a roll, I order a roll, and then we have two that we both like. So we get the Godzilla that my wife likes. My wild card, the fourth one, last night I went with the wasabi stringer, which has jalapeno in it. So my wife stays away from those. And sometimes I go with the Iso Fantastic. They have a badger roll, which is just gigantic, and it's hard to eat in one bite. So we don't get that often. Philadelphia is like the go-to, or the California roll. The dragon roll is my favorite. And then rainbow. What did we get last night? We didn't do the rainbow last night. I think we just went with we went Godzilla, Philadelphia, dragon, and wasabi stringer. And I like the Philadelphia because I like wasabi and ginger on my regular rolls. But some of the rolls, like the Godzilla, the ginger and the Godzilla just doesn't mix. The ginger and the dragon is okay, but they put like the eel sauce on it. So I don't like it with the ginger. So we had sushi last night. So I decided, I'm just going to be a couch person. And I've been downstairs all day. I'm just going to turn the fireplace on. We've got a bed of snow. We ended up getting like 2 or 3 inches of snow. We got a bed of snow outside. It's cold. I'm going to turn on a movie and list some cards from the couch. So I was just flipping through. There's a new movie, and I don't know. It's on one of the streaming services. It's called Barbarian. It is a scary movie. There are some really gross parts that I actually had to look away because I don't do blood. It's called Barbarian. It's Justin Long is one of the stars. Bill Skarsgård is another. The others I've never heard of. Georgina Campbell and Zach Kreger. Oh, wait, he's the director, but I think he might have been an actor in it too. Anyway, quick Wikipedia read. The plot sees a woman finds out that the rental house she reserved has been accidentally double booked with a man while not knowing of a dark secret within the home. And it's kind of a strange, it's kind of clunky, but it works. Because you think when the woman arrives to her Airbnb and there's another dude there, and you're like, oh man, this dude is not good. But that's not the case. And then all of a sudden bad stuff happens. And it cuts away to Justin Long's character in California. And it's like, is this a new movie? What the hell's going on? Anyway, watch it if you are into scary movies. There is some scenes where it's like, oh my God, that's effing gross. Not suitable for children under the age of 17. Terry has seen it. Terry, awesome. I figured Terry and we have that horror movie connection. Barbarian was a WTF movie. It was. I loved the flashback scenes to the 80s because basically, and I can talk a little bit about it without giving the story away. So it's set in Detroit, and some neighborhoods in Detroit are just dilapidated and falling all to hell. So that's in current time. The neighborhood is the house is kind of kept nice, but everywhere else there's graffiti on the homes. They're all falling in. It's just a terrible neighborhood. But it flashes back to the 80s, and it's all nice green lawns. Houses look nice. But it shows one of the neighbors. Yeah, the neighborhood's kind of going downhill. It doesn't look like it's going downhill, but it's the sign of the times. It shows a grocery store scene from the 80s. Love that. So anyway, Barbarian, it's on Peacock. No, it's not Peacock. I think it's on HBO Max. It's on one of the streamers. HBO Max, maybe Netflix. I don't know. Let's see. Paige and Deanie Bean says, damn it, Uncle Rich, you need to put it on a YouTube short. I am stubborn and don't mess with Facebook and Twitter. John's Mini Collections, what is up? Good morning to you. My episode of Chasing Cardboard came out today. Comes out today. Super excited to see it. Oh, that's awesome. I am going to make sure I have that on. 608 Sports Cards. I have a GoPro you could use for your rip part. Ooh, I may take you up on that offer. Card Hobbyist says he doesn't look like a blues guy from the Mississippi Delta. Let's see. Dan says, I might have missed your thoughts on this topic, but will you be paying $8 for a Twitter checkmark? Hell no. Not just no. Hell no. Because anybody paying $8 defeats the purpose of a check mark. It's just pissing your money away, in my opinion. Andrew says, so who is the fella on the card that looks like Alexander Cartwright or some sort of mischievous store owner from Tombstone, Arizona, circa 1886? Rich says, someone ID'd the person on Facebook. His name is also Robert Johnson. Oh, Rich, I did see this. I did see that yesterday on Twitter. I did see that. The card manufacturer messed that up good. Andrew says Robert Underwood Johnson was born in Centerville, Indiana in 1853. His brother Henry Underwood Johnson became a member of Congress from that district. His father, Nimrod, what a great name. Terry says chasing cardboard is must-see TV. Absolutely love it. So here we are, an hour and 10 minutes in. I'm going to wrap it up. We made it through, so maybe I'll get to that topic that my browser and YouTube just cut me off. So thanks for tuning in. Thanks for the chat. Hit the like button if you haven't already. Subscribe to the channel. I will be back on tomorrow. It's a free-for-all Friday. Saturday, no show. I'll be set up at the Madison card show with my bargain boxes in tow. So come out and see me in my bargain boxes. I'll be on the second floor in the hallway next to my man Bronco, Baseball Card Illustrated, and Sheena, who's got like the prime spot right at the edge of the steps. So check me out. Check us out Saturday, Madison, Wisconsin. And I'll review the show on Sunday. Oh, by the way, since I am set up, I probably will not do a live. I probably will not go live. I'll just do a highlight video at the end of the day because it takes me about 45 minutes to do those lives. And I don't have anybody to watch my tables. So it'll just be easier for me to take brief walk-arounds and not do 45 minutes of live streaming. So I will not do that this Saturday. So anyway, have a great Thursday. Have a great Thursday. Like and subscribe. We'll see you tomorrow.